Okay, this time I can tell that we're running, but last time I couldn't, so I will go on with it and we'll just see what happens here with the other. Tonight, I'm going to be showing something with the Daisy Lane stamp set that we received at the on stage. If you can see it, this is not what we're making, but this is where I kind of got the idea. This is the stamp set that we'll be using. So, it's pretty simple and short, but I thought I'll just show it to you. This one was one that we made at a last class. It was shown to us encased by Marcia Ebnett, one of my downline, and she got it from an Amy Coenders, I believe is the name. So I am going to go with that. And what we're going to be using tonight is none of these colors. I don't think we're using any other colors at all. So, but this is the one we're going to make because I just kind of have been struggling with what to do with the Needlepoint Nook. And so we are using the Daisy Lane stamp set. Hi, oh, now I forgot your first name, but I know you are from down under. Okay, so let's go back here. Daisy Lane and the Needlepoint Nook stamp, or designer series paper. We're going to be using our blocks, the A or the C and the D, and then we're going to be using our light daffodil delight blend. We're also going to be using stamp pads, balmy blue, pear pizzazz, and real red, and then the large daisy punch. Our cardstocks are going to just be whisper white and night of navy. And I'll try to remember to tell you the different sizes as we're going with it. But the very first part that I'm going to start with is I've mounted my blocks already with the stamps. And these are a cling mount, red rubber. So I'm just going to set this off to the side. So I don't know if you can see that there. And what I want to do first is I'm going to stamp 3 of the daisies, and I'm going to use the balmy blue to kind of give a little bit of a color to it, just faint enough. And then when I'm stamping it, I'm going to be stamping it so that one of the petals is straight down, so that when I come with the punch, I can punch it out easy enough. And so I'll just do 3 of them in a row. I'm using the piece of whisper white that is 3 by 8.5 inches. This is in inches. And it's Wendy, isn't it? I just remember through me when I see the other name up there. But glad to have you aboard to watch. You probably made this yourself. But I'm just going to do this one. And we do a series of 3 of them across the paper. And that's all I'm going to be using that, because the Needlepoint Nook calls for balmy blue and night of navy in that. So I thought that would be a good way to use it. And then we have a little piece that is I think it is, I'm going to look here and make sure I get it right. I don't know. Let's see here. 2 3/4 by 4. And that's going to be our base for our daisy. So I'm going to stamp the word friend in real red first. Oh, thanks for sharing this too, Wendy. And we'll see what we can do here. I'm going to do it down in the lower corner and try not to rock my stamp. That looks pretty good. Sometimes I rock them, so I have to be so careful. Even though I've been stamping many years, it's just so hard sometimes. And then the next item I'm going to be doing is the stem, and this is the pear pizzazz. This is one of our old stamps, but it's still one of the newer ones. Or no, this is the linen top even. This is pretty old. But I just thought it would make it a nice faint color. We're going to go off just a little bit. And I have mounted it on the opposite side. So again, I hope I don't rock it. yeah, it turned out okay. So, looks good. And not really sure what was going on here with my daisies. I see now that I had a different color on there. I'm trying to think if I had done anything with it. I didn't remember. Let me look at it. I think I'm going to stamp this daisy. Is a little bit purpley. Even though it would get buried, it's still enough color on there that I'm going to tip it over and I'm going to stamp it on the other side. Because, you know, we can do that, right? And so I'm going to try that before I give up on this. Because I'm going to stamp it here first. Yeah, it's coming clear now, so I have no idea if something separated. Oh, I know what it was. I cleaned my stamp. I bet I had actually probably got to wash off my cleaner because I bet I have residue on there and I have to rinse it out better. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Christy. Wow, got a lot of people watching tonight. That's great. Okay, we're to the point now where we're going to use the punch. And I'm going to punch each of these. Like I said, if you have that one pointed down, you should be able to get them pretty good. And you kind of can adjust it just a bit. Like this time, I actually have to turn it over because I did have it a little too far away to get a good clean cut. And I want to get it good and clean so that I can hardly have a white border on it. And it's still got a little bit of a, but not too bad. And then, let's see, I think this one looks like it'll work here. We do have a little discoloration here too. But like I said, we'll be putting those in between, so it won't matter. And then one more. Oops. And you see how easy it's getting to line up because of the petal pointing down. Okay. So that's about all we have to do for that part of it. Now, I am going to put this one as my base, but I'm going to make them a little bit curled. So I'm just taking my thumb and I'm just curling them a little bit. And just want to give them some dimension that way too. And then this one got a little bit off. Each one was a little different, but the one that got the best I'm going to put on top. Again, I'm standing up behind my phone camera here, so that makes it always a little bit hard to get everything just right, but we make it work. So again, give it a little, bend these fibers in the paper a little bit. Give it a little twist and turn. Don't pull too hard or you can take them off. And then I'm going to go ahead and glue these together the order that I want them. Oops, first of all, I forgot. I do want to color the center with this yellow, or it's the light daffodil, the light blend. And you like to use that over your watercolor because then your stamping still shows through. And if I decide I want more color, I can add to it later. But now I'm going to go ahead and stack these. Ooh, hope that's not too much. Let me put a little bit on this one because I think it is a little too much. Turn that one over. And now I'm just going to go like about a third of a way so that I can still come in there with the next one. And then I'll assemble the rest of the cards so that this has a chance to dry a little bit before I have to handle it again. So again, we'll just set that up here. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to set that over there too, is I'm going to take my Needlepoint Nook, and what I did is I took one of my Chop It and Love It cardstock here that is 4x6, and I just made it 4 by 5 1/4, and then I cut an 1.5 inches off, and then we're just going to flip it. So now I'm going to go ahead and do this side with glue. Oop. It wants to be in the limelight a little longer. And we're going to center that one as well as we can. And with the multi-purpose glue is that you have a little time to move and readjust if you want, because it seems like I can never get the other ones down real well. And now we're going to glue on this side because we want that pretty blues butterfly set up on top. And it's just, now a word of caution. In this case, I did have a pattern going a certain direction on my, I'm going to overlap it just a bit, going on my bottom section. So I did want to make sure that I had it going the right way on the card. Now, unfortunately, the butterflies, I kind of wouldn't have minded them going the other way. But when you flip it, you kind of get that effect. Then we're going to take a 1/2 by 4 inch side. And let's see. Oh, no, I just dropped it. All right. I want to see which is the right and wrong way here. Yeah. There, you can usually tell from your cutter which way has a rougher edge. So I like to put that facing down. Okay, so we're going to just make that in place of a ribbon. Now, the original card that we were casing this one off of, I don't know, I'm just going to dart in here with it. She had some extra layers. The original one had some ribbon. She had gingham in that, but I pretty much used up most of my gingham. I really enjoyed that piece. So that's why we went with this, but I really like this paper and this set too, so I thought that was pretty nice. Now I'm going to go ahead and I believe the rest of it I'm going to just put dimensionals on. Yep. Okay. And I'm putting, first of all, I am going to put the middle in here. And I'm just leaving it blank because I want to write a little note to somebody, and thought that would be the easiest method. So then we'll just leave it like that. Okay, and we're done with that. All right, dimensional time. I'm just going to put one in each corner and one in the middle so that the middle doesn't flatten out on me. Well, actually, I'm going to put them sort of 2 places because I want to put the middle of the daisy sort of in one of those areas too, and I don't want it to be... Now, if you're having a little bit of a time, you can kind of dent these up with your fingernail or a tool, and usually that will help you get those covers off the dimensionals. So I'll just try that. All right, we're just having a good time. It's warm up here tonight, so we actually got it around 80 degrees today in Minnesota. How about you? What was the temperature where you're at? Now I suppose we'll just have to watch out for stormy weather. That's usually what follows warm weather here, it seems like. But my room is pretty warm. I'm going to have to figure out how to get the air reaching up here a little better. But anyway, be that as it may, I'm going to stick this about kind of in the center. I think I'm going to try for this one because I'm going to bring it down just a bit because I wanted the daisy to go off to the side. And then the daisy, I'm actually going to put a dimensional on that also so that it can be a couple of dimensions up and give it a little oomph to it. And again, I'm just going to kind of play with it a little bit. But let's see here. Okay. And that basically is the daisy card tonight. It's nothing too hard. I skipped a few layers that the original person did. She also did a stitched rectangle, I guess, and I didn't do that layer either. I was trying to do this as simplified so that if you have leftover or have some really nice DSP that you want to use, you don't have to have ribbon to match. You can just use the matching cardstock, that kind of thing. So white or whatever base color is your DSP, works well. I guess I would use white for daisies, but daisies are kind of special for me. They were what we had in our wedding. We had white daisies in the in my bouquet and yellow daisies in my bridesmaids. And then back in the day, we had homemade dresses, and the dresses had bouquets in the print of yellow daisies. So it was kind of fun. So with that, if you have any questions, like I said, it's super simple. You can get a lot done in a short time and just using lots of panels. You could get 12 of these cards done really easy if you wanted to make them for something. And there are lots of sentiments. Let me see here. There's Smile and Friend just on these. So, you can do those, or you could come up with whatever else you have on another stamp set. You could leave it blank. But with that, I wanted to go ahead and take you over to the live drawing. I had a person that had won, but she has not responded. So I put everybody's names in here from the comments from last week yet. And I said that if I hadn't heard back from her by 8:30 today, I would go ahead and pick a new person. So I am giving away the card I made last week. And this is a bracelet that says Stampin' Up! Love. I don't know if you can see that. But it's a stretchy kind of overlap. I had gotten these when I went out to Utah for the very first time to the, it was actually the 25th anniversary, and I've been saving them for something special. And I just thought this was kind of nice. It will mail really easy. And yet, it's kind of matches the card, I thought, too. So, with that, I'm going to pick a new winner tonight. And if the other gal does get a hold of me because of some reason, I have another card, and I have another bracelet. So, this bracelet would say Inspire. What's kind of cool is they have both ways. But tonight, I'm drawing for the one that matches the card. So, I'm not sure who was all in the drawing last time, but I had a few here that were, you had to be from the U.S., and that took out a few people. So, and the winner tonight is Lisa Johnson. I think you were on tonight, weren't you? Watching? So I think if you could text me or personally message me your address, I'll send this little bracelet and card out to you. That would be awesome. So I'll leave that with you. And I'm excited for you to receive this in the next week or so. Hopefully it won't take that long. And if you need a catalog, if you don't have one, let me know that too in your message with your address. With that tonight, I guess is all I need to share with you. Of course, if you have any last minute purchases you want to make, I do always forget this. I do have my online store, and you can go on there and order. And if you order less than $150, I ask that you use the hostess code so that we could continue to earn some things. And if you have over a $35 order and you're local in one of my communities that I give classes in, you will be eligible for a free class. So otherwise, I do have classes and I charge $3 per card, so or project. And I will be over in the Herman area tomorrow night. So with that, I appreciate you coming and watching my live broadcast. And I'll see you next week. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.